Now, money means nothing to me, nor boxing when it comes to the freedom of your people. So everything I'm doing, if it means hitchhike tomorrow, if it means be raggedy, if it means look for a job, I'll be happy because I can go to bed, my conscience is clear, and I didn't sell out or trade my people just because I could be rich in Hollywood with a yacht out here on my, that could be my yacht right there. Imagine it's valued at $200,000, but I wouldn't want that damn yacht if I couldn't go back over in the black neighborhood and protest a black woman being raped. The hell with the yacht. The hell with the championship. So I want the people to know that.
In 1972, Muhammad Ali sat down for an interview that would expose the deepest wounds of his people. What he revealed that day wasn't about boxing. It was about the psychological chains he fought his entire life to break. This is the story of Elijah Muhammad, his beliefs, and the truth about slave names that changed Ali forever. The context of this conversation is crucial. Ali, fresh off his boxing ban, was not just a fighter. He was the most prominent voice of the Nation of Islam in America. He was being asked directly why he chose Islam, and his answer was a direct assault on the systematic cultural oppression of Black America. He wasn't talking about religion in a vacuum. He was talking about identity. What attracted him to Islam, Ali says, was the truth taught by Elijah Muhammad, the truth about history, nationality, and names. He points out the pride of every other group, Chinese, Russians, Jews, Italians, having names that signify their culture. But Black Americans, they had names like Clay, Hawkins, Smith, and Jones. These were not names of their ancestors. These were the names of their oppressors. He calls them simply slave names. This realization, this historical truth, was the reason he had to walk out of the church and away from Christianity, because they had never taught him this true knowledge. But here's what most people don't realize. The name Muhammad Ali wasn't a celebrity stunt. It was a conscious, painful act of rejecting 400 years of forced amnesia. He then pivots to the systematic whitewashing of the black man's mind. Ali cites the media, the church, and popular culture. Think about the images he saw. Jesus, white with blonde hair and blue eyes. The angels, the Lord's Supper, all white people. Even the perceived symbols of excellence. Miss Universe, Miss America, Miss World, white women. He uses a startling metaphor. Tarzan, the king of the jungle in Africa, was a white man who could talk to the animals and beat up Africans who had lived there for centuries. This wasn't just film. This was psychological warfare. His examples are relentless. Good cowboys rode white horses. The president lived in an old White House. The good products like white soap and white cloud tissue were associated with white. The angel food cake was white, but the devil's food cake was chocolate. Everything good was white. When he heard this history, he knew it was the truth. Think about that for a moment. A mind conditioned by culture to believe that whiteness equals goodness. That is the foundation of the struggle Ali was fighting outside the ring. The conversation moves to the core of the Nation of Islam's controversial stance, separation of the races rather than integration. Ali clarifies that separation primarily means mentally and economically. He states they have tried integrating for 400 years, and it has resulted in being kicked and shot and brutalized. Their goal is to do for self, clean up their neighborhoods, respect their women, pool their resources, and build their own independence. He argues that black and white are disagreeable in peace, and since they can't get along, they must now quit fighting and quit being violent, and go build their own communities on their own land. You remember where you were when you first heard about the call for black people to have their own separate land? It wasn't about hate. It was about survival, pride, and self-determination. Finally, the interviewer asks about the most inflammatory quote, that white men are devils. Ali says Elijah Muhammad meant exactly what he said, through deeds and works. He launches into a horrifying, detailed account of lynching history in America, cutting out private parts, sticking them in mouths, pulling unborn babies from pregnant women, tying people to horses to pull their limbs out, and burning them alive. He contrasts this with the Christian teachings of the devil being underground. The white devil in America, he says, was worse because he burned us while we was alive. He didn't wait to be died. He challenges white officials to stand up and deny that they are devils. The lack of denial for Ali confirmed the truth. Here is the difficult paradox. Even with the existence of good white people, even the thousands of good snakes in the crowd, Ali felt he had to shut the door, not out of malice, but out of the necessity of survival for his entire race. This interview, more than any fight, shows the depth of Ali's commitment. He risked his career, his title, and his freedom, not for a political stunt, but for a profound emotional belief in his identity and his people's right to self-respect. His words here are a raw, unfiltered defense against centuries of cultural and physical violence. His legacy is not just the boxing gloves, but the courage to speak these unspeakable truths. He acknowledges the white blood in him, a brutal reminder of the forced rape and exploitation of his ancestors by slave masters. He is a walking symbol of the very history he is railing against. This wasn't hatred. It was the pain of history speaking through a champion. The greatest didn't just win fights. He won hearts. And that's a victory that never fades. What did this interview reveal to you about Ali? Share your thoughts below, and let's keep the greatest's legacy alive.